Welcome to another edition of Groove School Selections. If you're not familiar with the format, each episode we learn about the journey of an artist. Along this journey, we turn the artist into the selector, as they pick songs that best explain their story. This episode, I'm with a producer who I'm very excited to talk to, a UK funky house legend. A producer who has been so consistent, we definitely have him to thank for the scene lasting so long. If you've ever been to a rave and pulled out your gun fingers, then the track was probably made by this man sat opposite me. Of course, I'm talking about Roska. Thank you for coming, man.
No, thanks for having me. Appreciate it, man.
So if you don't mind, I want to go back to as early as we can and get an idea of who you are and go through that journey.
Yep.
So going back to the very beginning, where did you grow up?
I grew up in London, southeast London. I was born in Lewisham, and I grew up in Thamesmead. And then, I started moving around a little bit and, ended up back in Catford.
Can you describe how your house looked? What was home life like?
It was me, my brother, my sister, and, my mum. And, man, it was a lot of music being played. Growing up, my uncles and my dad was in had a sound system collective called Ecstasy that was based in sort of like Deptford, New Cross. And it's just like music was always around, from lovers rock, reggae, soul, R&B, it's just always been a part of whatever, we've always had a hi-fi stereo, do you know what I mean? And playing, from early days of like Kiss, when Rodigan was on, to the early days of Capital Extra Choice FM, and just always playing good music, that probably inspired me, or not even probably, but definitely inspired me to pursue music as an artist and full time.
So as a child, did you have any hobbies?
My hobby was, not really hobbies as such. I mean, football has always been sort of like, I'd say as a hobby, first of all, because I actually wanted to be a goalkeeper, like when I was younger. And I've always like sort of seeing football as something, maybe not a hobby as such, but part of like, I don't know, I'd say it's part of my life in terms of like, I just always followed football. And then as I got into my latter years, like teenage years, it was more music, man. So music was a hobby from when I was like 16 onwards, man. And it just stayed with me forever until, it became hobby to work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Going back to the football point, what team do you support?
So it's mad because when I was younger, I used to support it was like whatever team was on top. And then I finally like got to a point where, I need to support a team. And all my family supported Arsenal, but I rebelled, man, and I went to Tottenham.
Wow.
I just was like, I just couldn't do it. But when I was growing up, Ian Wright was sort of like a legend to me in terms of like, he's a black player, like doing it. Do you know what I mean? As a whole, Tottenham, man, has always been my team.
Usually, as soon as the word Tottenham comes up, I get shivers.
Yeah,
I feel really uncomfortable, because I'm an Arsenal fan. But I'm happy that you mentioned Ian Wright.
Yeah,
so no. I know that the love's there.
Yeah, it was because when it was international time, like you forget about the rivalries, don't you? So like when England. So like even now, like in my studio, I've got like a couple figurines and stuff, and I've got an England Ian Wright figurine. So when it was England, I'm cool. Do you know what I mean? But when it was like, you know what I mean? Yeah, no, you know what I mean? Arsenal's a dirty word. Don't use that around me.
Wow. Starting off badly.
Yeah.
So we're going to come to our first selection. We spoke about your childhood and your life growing up. Can you pick a song that best describes your childhood?
Barrington Levy. I think it's called Work or Work Hard. Yeah, Barrington Levy, Work Hard. Yeah.
And why are you picking that track?
You know what? It's always stuck with me because, like, as cliche as it sounds, like, I've always it's just about working hard. Do you know what I mean? And that's one thing that my mum always said, was just like, always put 100 into whatever you're doing. And when I was younger, maybe not, but now, like, as I get older, I'm definitely like putting more and more into whatever I'm doing. And I think when I started with music and coming into music, I wasn't really paying attention to what I was doing, but I was putting 100 into it. Do you know what I mean? So as I get older, it's more important to work even harder. So that kind of resonates, and it's one of those. It's a timeless classic, man. It's like one of those tunes that you could just and it's danceable as well. It's not just a positive message, you know what I mean? So it's got all the elements of good music, man. Yeah. Yo, this is Roska, and you're listening to the Groove School show with Reuben.
Lazy body. We love the people who can work. We can't do the lazy body people them. Watch out. Everybody must work. I don't like that. Work. Everybody must work. Young or old. Work harder. Everybody must work. White or black. Everybody must work. Work hard. Watch this. Cause if you're not working, you gotta be loafing. And if you're not loafing, then brother, you gotta be joking. You must work. I don't lie. And don't be a jerk. Everybody must work. Work hard. EY is like lazy body not gonna work. Man and woman, they better try and do some work. Chicks the ball out. Lazy body not gonna work. Man and woman, they better try and do some work. You want some man and woman, them no want for work. Sit pan corner and act like a jerk. She a whip on the front and him a wait on the shirt. Man and woman, who don't try and do some work. Told me a talk before the bed burst. Chicks the king is not the rest. Marriage and live is not the rest. Sing on. Working is a thing that you should love. I don't like. Working is a thing that everyone should love. Everybody must work. Hey, don't be a jerk. Everybody must work. Work hard. EY. Got to have some ambition. Keep your spirit alive. Don't go making excuses. Just get out there and try. Everybody must work. Work. Everybody must work. Work hard. Watch this. No man gonna walk out. Barilla come. No man gonna airport. But them friend a come. Bring that, bring this, bring something. All they want is easy living. You must work. No, it not gonna work on me, brain. Don't be a jerk. Everybody must work. Work hard. Work for what you want. Everybody must work. Young or old. Everybody must work. Nice and live and chicks give me the good hard. Money isn't religion. You won't get it for free. I don't like that. Crime is not the solution. Open your eyes and see. Everybody must work. Jamaica must. Everybody must work. Canada and England. The whole world. Working is a thing that you should love. Working is a thing that everyone should love. Everybody must work. Everybody must work. Work harder. EY. Lazy body not gonna work. Man and woman, they better try and do some work. Lazy body not gonna work. Man and woman, they better try and do some work. You want some man and woman, them don't want to work. Sit pan corner and act like a jerk. She a whip on a frock, aim and wait on that shirt. And in the ear, if you love for work, listen, chicks, they get your money's worth.
So we just heard the music you grew up on. At what point did you start finding your own music? You said you started making it a hobby at 16.
Yeah.
But at what age were you finding your own style of music?
So as I got into my teens, then it was like not listening to what my mum and my parents were sort of like playing, but it was like finding what was interesting. And you know, it was like the early stages of pirate radio, garage, and my cousin he introduced me to jungle and drum and bass, and that was a good sort of indication of like the London sound and what we represent in the UK as well. So as time got on, I started off as like an MC at first, because my cousin he was my DJ, and this was from like 98, 99, and yeah, we just kind of like built a good rapport, and like I was still making music as well, but because he was my DJ, it was like no need for me to DJ. I'll just make music, so I was making like little dub plates here and there, and we would just have fun with it, man. So yeah, my first indication was like, yeah, garage, listening to garage MCs, just like messing with the FM dial, man, and just trying to find like that odd station that's not like a Radio 1 or a Kiss or whatever. Do you know what I mean? And you know, hanging an antenna out the window and kind of, do you know what I mean? Just trying to find something that could that I could enjoy. Not that I wasn't enjoying anything, but you know what I mean. Just kind of find that little pocket of something different. So that was my early stages of.
Yeah, because I saw online you went by the name Mentor.
That's right. Yeah, it was Mentor and Mentor Roska, and then Roska when I started producing. I was like, yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Where does the name come from?
It's just random stuff. Like when we were younger, we used to just say random words and just kind of Roska just stuck, man. I was just like, you know what, I'm sticking with that.
It's time for our next selection. This time I'd like you to pick a song that takes you right back to that period, the period where you were finding your own sound.
Okay, cool. So I heard there's a tune with Stormzy, AJ Tracy and Heady One. I don't remember the name of it. It's just come out recently, but it's got that bump and grind hook on it, and that brings me back to like my garage days. That baby, are you up for it? Ready for the bump? Yeah, that tune there.
You really fine.
There you go. Yeah.
I was saying on the phone to my friend recently. I actually don't know the words to that song.
I don't. But
no.
that
when it comes
me.
on, I'm like, it's my tune.
Yeah.
So let's imagine we move slightly across our proverbial Roska timeline. At the moment, we know the music you grew up on, and we know the music you started finding yourself. And you spoke about the garage scene. What was the garage scene like to be part of? Because obviously you were making music.
Yeah, so for me, it was like it was like an adjustment to learning music structure and how scenes and how music connects with people. So for me, it was like I didn't submerge myself. I got into kind of at the tail end of it. So like me and my cousin, we played at Scala like literally, I don't even remember what year it was. It must have been 2002, I think, and that was our first and last sort of booking, because he was like moving to just doing non-DJ stuff. I think it gets to a time where it's like, you know, buying the records, it's a lot, do you know what I mean? So it's like hard to know if you're going to pursue it professionally and what have you. So, you know, he kind of stopped and it just left me producing. But as a scene, it was good to see how things progressed. And I think where we entered, it was like it was coming to the more commercial side of it. So where artists were becoming, you know,
household names.
Yeah, household names, you know, like your So Solids and what have you, and all the tunes that we were listening to, like, they were underground, they were finally getting mainstream, just like success. And
that inspired you? Did you look at it and think, the music that I was hearing with my cousin is now getting mainstream success? Did that make you want to keep going?
To a certain extent, I kind of like was still trying to enjoy the underground side of it. Do you know what I mean? So like the pirate radio and just the general stuff. I felt like for me, because I started I was hearing a lot of those tracks. You know, like Oh No by So Solid, Sweet Female Attitude, Flowers, and all those tunes. Because I heard those as underground. It kind of like, I respected the progression, but it was like, okay, cool, well, you know what I mean, let those guys enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, you know, I want to find some more underground stuff that doesn't, you know, isn't as popular to a certain extent.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's how I felt with grime.
Yeah, of course.
So we've come to the next selection, and this is my favorite question. Let's imagine this scenario. I've been hired to throw you a surprise event. I'm no ordinary regular event planner. I have the power to bring 3 artists, bands or DJs together for one night only. These artists can be past or present, alive or deceased. My power knows no boundaries. What 3 artists would you pick, and what venue would you like this party to be at?
Okay, cool. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a tough one, man. Music wise, I'd say maybe someone from Garage, or like maybe even like So Solid. That would be sick.
Okay.
So Solid from like the Garage era, from like hip hop, maybe someone from hip hop. I saw him once actually, but Busta Rhymes, man. He was like my all-time fave.
Busta Rhymes, man. I like
yeah.
Busta Rhymes, man.
Yeah, I saw him when it was Hammersmith Apollo. Yeah, years ago, man. That was sick, man. So yeah, Busta Rhymes and maybe a Bob Marley to close the show out, man. That would be cold, innit?
That'd be crazy.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So
be your birthday, or
possibly just or maybe just like a closing of unlocking of lockdown.
Okay, yeah. So like that's cool.
Do you know what I mean? So you could have maybe like So Solid crew to open it up, Busta Rhymes to kind of hype it up, and then Bob Marley to close it out. Do you know what I mean? A bit of One Love at the end, man.
That would sell out quickly.
Exactly.
Very quickly. Where would you have it?
Ooh, do you know what? To be fair, like because of the size, I'd say that could do maybe a Wembley.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or even maybe just like maybe at Ali Pali. Bring it to Ali Pali. Do you know what I mean?
That'd be crazy.
That'd be mad, innit?
So the first person you mentioned the first group you mentioned is So Solid Crew.
Yeah.
What track would you like them to play? They'll do many, but for the radio, which one?
I think Oh No, the original 12-inch one. That's got to be
the word.
Yeah, man, that's got to be the one.
If I never been seen, never heard, never happened, never occurred, I wouldn't be like my lyrical word. Oh no, that's the word. Oh no, that's the word. Never seen, never heard, never happened, never occurred, I wouldn't be like my lyrical word. Oh no, that's the word. Oh no, that's the word. Romeo's in the premises. I used to be a rapper too, but you never knew this. And if you wanna test this, gonna show you my AWS, then kiss this. I so they grew this. I bet you never knew so they couldn't do this. And if you wanna boo this, gonna make you jump up, move your feet to this.
It's just the little things, the sentimental things I like about the way we keep the rave alive. So solid when we rock the mic, and if you know what I mean. So solid, so on that night. A good beat to make you feel the vibe. So people tell me, do you like? It's just the little things, the sentimental things I like about the way we keep the rave alive. So solid when we rock the mic, and if you know what I mean. So solid, so on that night. A good beat
when I walk on past. When I see the buff ladies, flip the dash. Don't let it go to your head. I said, this style is tougher than lead, so the crew popular. Just like
Always Coca-Cola.
and if you never did know, this style is wicked, you know. That's the lyrical flow. When I come through, lick it with the 1, 2, lick it with the lyrical flow. You know what to do. You're gonna speak, so I'm gonna bless you. Lyrical intellect that you never knew. Left, right, left, better to the death. Keep up to the base, get out. You're gonna get left. My star, from beginning to the end. Repeat it over again.
I can't stop the music. With the mic, I'm gonna use it. So somebody's come to bring you the new vibe to make you feel good inside. I can't stop the music. With the mic, I'm gonna use it. So somebody's come to bring you the new vibe to make you feel good inside.
Back again, the old man, ida. Put the champagne up instead of chiller. Mouth to the girls, I'm as a killer. Take a step back. Look into the mirror. Surprise, like chiller. It's a filler. Some of the ladies, I'm looking at the filler. Send the man, no dinner, but to dinner. You're new to the game, you beginner. Zimmer, who's got the keys to my? I'm back again, the old man, ida. Put the champagne up instead of chiller. Mouth to the girls, I'm as a killer. Zimmer, who's got the keys to my? I'm back again, the old man, ida. Put the champagne up instead of mouth to the girls, I'm as a.
Just the little things, the sentimental things in life. About the way we keep the rave alive. So solid way we rock the mic. And if you know what I mean. So solid, so all night long. A good beat to make you feel the vibe. So ravers tell me, do you like? It's just the little things, the sentimental things in life. About the way we keep the rave alive. So solid way we rock the mic. And if you know what I mean. So solid, so all night long. A good beat to make you feel the vibe. So ravers tell me, do you like?
And then the second one, what song would you like to play? But for Busta Rhymes.
For Busta Rhymes, either Give Me Some More or Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See. Yeah, it's classic ones, man. Yeah.
Yeah. As a shorty playing in the front yard of the crib, fell down and I bumped my head. Somebody helped me up and asked me if I bumped my head. I said, yeah. So then they said, oh, so that means you gonna switch it on them. I said, yeah, flip mode. Flip mode is the greatest. You know, and as a shorty, I was always told that if I ain't gonna be part of the greatest, I gotta be the greatest myself. Come on, yeah, come on. Yeah, nigga, what a surprise. Give you something, make a nigga close both of your eyes. All my niggas getting money capitalized. Die, little small guy, we on the rise. Everything a nigga touch, platinumized. Full of your quips, you know we coming all on supplies. Got a big gun and I'ma show you the size. You fuck with any of my flip mode family ties. Me and my niggas be coming through, stalking you out. Killing off any and everything you talking about. See you in the club, now we walking you out. Should've thought twice before you went and open your mouth. Yo, anyway, we stay keeping it moving. Fucking with the wrong nigga, hope you know what you're doing. Now blame me, all the same niggas is lame. It's not a game, nigga name still splitting your brain. Y'all niggas had enough? Give me some more. Y'all niggas want the wild shit? Give me some more. Yo, Spliff, where the weed at? Give me some more. I know y'all niggas need that. Give me some more. Even though we getting money, you could give me some more. With the cars in the big crib, give me some more. Everybody spread love. Give me some more. If you want it, let me hear you say it. Give me some more. Blast with a brash, give me my cash, look at my ass. Running with my money, son, go out with a blast. Do what you want, the niggas cut in the corner. You fucking up the order, go ahead and meet the reporter. Yo, she telling news on how you switch to a bitch. Little fake, funny style, nigga, chill with a snitch. So now I pass you straight, I don't got nothing to ask you. Make a little room for me, you know my niggas to pass through. Cartier, Sidney Portier, hooray shit. Roll with all of my niggas from around the way shit. When I come through, y'all niggas know I do my thing. Bring more shit to generate money. Cha-ching. Arrest you, lyrically, flow will caress you. Bless you, then the nigga come to your rescue. Why you assuming nigga blossom and bloom? I'm coming soon, hit you with a boom, give me some room. Y'all niggas had enough? Give me some more. Y'all niggas want the wild shit? Give me some more. Hey, Spliff, where the weed at? Give me some more. I know y'all niggas need that. Give me some more. Even though we getting money, you can give me some more. Cars in the big crib. Give me some more. Everybody's red love. Give me some more. If you want it, let me hear you say it. Give me some more. Yo, live nigga shit, know what I mean? And represent why we getting money and reign supreme. Hope y'all niggas know we coming through full steam. Can't see me, better turn on your high beam. All my niggas while I'm ringing the siren. Flip mode, we go with niggas from my team. Never should you ever try to fuck with my cream. I OD when my shit get all in your bloodstream. Every time we be ripping and be blowing it down, blowing you all fucking with the hottest niggas around. Ruckus with me and my people run through your town, holding it down, thinking the wild nigga give me my crown. Hey, all my people need to come and surround. A nigga be hitting so much I make you fall on the ground. Sure to make you shot, that's what I be all about. Turning you out, making all of you niggas fall out. Y'all niggas had enough? Give me some more. Y'all niggas want the wild shit? Give me some more. Hey, Spliff, where the weed at? Give me some more. I know y'all niggas need that. Give me some more. Even though we getting money, you can give me some more. With the cars in the big crib, give me some more. Everybody spread love. Give me some more. If you want it, let me hear you say it. Give me some more.
And then you said to end the show be Bob Marley.
Bob Marley, yeah, One Love's Got It. Just that's the final. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, No Woman, No Cry. Gee, man, come on, that'll be bad. Yeah, man. That's getting me gassed. It's like it's happening.
It's not even real, but
yeah,
I'm
do you know what I mean? You can visualize it, innit?
crying. One love. Hear the children crying. One heart. Saying, give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Saying, let's get together and feel alright. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let them all pass all their dirty remarks. One love. There is one question I'd really love to ask. One heart. Is there a place for the hopeless sinners who has hurt all mankind? Just save his soul, believe. One love. What about a one heart? What about a let's get together and feel alright? As it was in the beginning. One love. So shall it be in the end. One heart. Alright. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. One more thing. Let's get together to fight this holy Armageddon. One love. So when the man comes, there will be no doom. One song. Have pity on those whose chances grow thinner. There ain't no hiding place from the Father of creation. Yeah, yeah. One love. What about the one? One heart. What about the let's get together and feel alright? I'm pleading to mankind. One love. One heart. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. So let's get together and feel alright.
Okay, so introducing UK Funky House. I was about 13 or 14 years old. I was finding my own sound and I started hearing UK Funky. I remember thinking, wow, because it was so natural, it had so many elements of music I've already liked. I've got older cousins, uncles, parents, friends who like garage and like other genres of music that's already around. It had all these elements, but it was different. Can you tell me how this sound emerged?
Yeah, how I come across it was it was weird because I come off making grime, so I was from my progression from garage and being a garage MC, and then making garage, and then it was like the progression of grime. So grime was my next thing. I was like, okay, cool, grime. I'm enjoying this, and it was like at that period I was still trying to find my feet as a producer, but then I was still trying to find an entry point for myself as well, and how am I gonna put my name out there as such. And then it just didn't work. The grime thing just didn't work out for me. And then I was looking around, and DJ Pioneer was one of the first DJs that I come across. And then I just started listening to all these tunes because I started going to a lot of like R&B, hip hop, sort of like raves, smart dressed, and then there would always be like a second room where Pioneer, Super D, those guys are playing. Do you know what I mean? So you go to all these places, all these spots, and kind of hear like funky house and all that stuff playing, man. And yeah, it was just wild to me, man. I was like, no, I need to get involved in this, man. And I started like digging deeper to like producers and who's making it. And I was finding, your DJ Gregory's and all the international producers that were making it.
Yeah, because I feel like it came from Soulful House.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
DJ Gregory, I love.
Yeah, man. So it was like more like the raw sort of like Afro tribal house. It was those bits that were cutting through the Soulful House bits that were kind of taking the forefront of the sound. And then I started finding like there was a few producers that were making it that were literally just making it in the UK and London. So I come across Apple, which these tunes are just literally murdering the dance floor, man. And then Invasion Records, they had a tune big. I think their biggest one was like Take Over, massive. And then I started seeing Jelly Jams, which was Genius and Zinc, and then Fuzzy Logic, and then started seeing all these pockets of people. And then I made my first tune in 2007, and then I sent it to Pioneer that same year. And then it was just like he was playing it, but he weren't really saying like it was doing anything. Like, but I just was like, you know what, he's playing it, whatever. Because I was working, I didn't care. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know what, let's see what happens. And then as time got on, Super D had it, then Genius had it. So the tune was getting like moved around. So people kind of realizing, and then I just bit the bullet, man. Just spent some money and just got it pressed up and was like, let's just see what happens, man. I've got a job. It's not going to affect me that much, and see what happens, man. And
That's big.
Yeah. So that's my like, sort of like build up to seeing how Funky House and the UK funky thing was picking up, man.
Yeah. So for you witnessed it. Thought I quite like this.
Yeah.
Saw it growing. Felt like you could do something with it because, as we discussed, it's got elements of styles you were already doing. You can do garage, you can do grime, which is nice. That's a nice entry.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, the good thing about UK funky is it takes so much elements from all the London sounds and makes it into one. So you got the grime elements in there, whether you listen to like a Champion tune or even some of my tunes as well. You've got like the vocal elements, you know, whether it's you as an early Genius song or whether it is a Fuzzy Logic, Crazy Cousins, you know, and then you've got, you know, the garage elements, the skippy, the raw sort of like beats, you know. So there's so much things that are taken from like or incorporated into it to make it a London sound, make it its own vibe, you know what I mean? Yeah,
so we've come to the next selection, and it's going to be the first Funky House song you released. So you spoke about this one that you pressed up. What was the name of this track?
It's called Feeline. That was my first. That came out 12 years ago. Yeah,
Feeline is one of my favourite tracks, so I'm looking forward to hearing it.
Yeah, this is the Groove School show. You're listening to myself, Roska, and this track is called Feeline.
So we just heard Feeline. I just want to emphasize that for me, one of the biggest UK funky tracks is one of the first songs you released. That's crazy. You have to be proud.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. You know, if I didn't just jump out there and put that tune out, you know, who knows where I'd be right now. So yeah, definitely, like, you know, I remember the date that I released it, and it took like the whole year to sell, like, on vinyl, and it was just the early doors of like Twitter, no IG, Facebook pages started, with the fan pages sort of thing. So it felt like physical products were kind of like coming to the end of like a cycle sort of thing. So it was kind of good to be a part of that and be selling records out my boot, man. That was kind of like, yeah, just kind of be my own distributor, man, driving up to stores and just dropping them off, man. So yeah, it's good fun.
Crazy. I think it's fair to say that UK Funky had 2 waves. During that first wave, what was it like? So you spoke about making your first track. So from there onwards, what was it like being part of the scene?
Yeah, it was good. It was good, man. It was interesting because, again, it was like I was still trying to find my feet, but now I'm actually becoming like a name within the scene. And I think the good thing about like the starting of Funky was that everybody was new to it, and there was no rules like to get to where we was getting to. No one knew. It was uncharted territory completely, man. Like, we were just having fun. Everybody's just making music, sending it out, and you know, there was only a handful of us that really like dug deep to kind of put the music out there and learn the admin side of you know, putting music out properly and getting it to the masses, rather than just being to, you know, local DJs playing funky. So, you know, it was an interesting time. I feel that it was such a massive learning curve, man, and we could all learn from it in terms of those that were involved in it, man. And you can see that, you know, a lot of artists are doing different things, like Ill Blue and Crazy Cousins, you know, doing like more sort of like pop stuff and like the drill and sort of Afrobeat stuff as well. So it's kind of like there's a stepping stone for some artists, but there's also a learning curve as well, because we look back at it and be like, yeah, you know, there's so much good things that we take from it, and so much things that we can look back and go, okay, cool, well, you know, we could do better or do this. And even if it's just down to the mixing down the music, or just, you know, giving it to the right people and getting our sound out there.
Yeah, that's a very interesting point, especially when you think about when you make music. As a listener, you're like, I just love what I'm hearing. Yeah. But as a producer, it's work. You're learning about, like you said, mixing it down. Mention like Ill Blue and Crazy Cousins making different genres of music. They know the mistakes they made before.
That's
so
right, yeah, that's it.
I've always connected you with Rinse.
Yeah.
I think as a child, the font, the colours, everything, I thought Roska, Rinse. Even the letter R. So in my mind, as a child, I was like, yeah, Roska is Rinse is Roska. Musically, your music was getting a lot of play on Rinse. And I think you even had a show on Rinse as well.
That's right, yeah.
So you obviously had a good relationship with the guys there in Genius. What was it like, that period there?
Yeah, it was good. Again, that was like another step up to learning, because I used all of that as a massive learning thing, man, because I want to be in music as long as I can be. And for me to be here, I have to learn a lot. So when I first started on Rinse back in 08, end of 08, beginning of 09, I got my first show. I was on Tuesdays 11 till 1, and straight after Scratcher DVA, when he used to do the breakfast show. And yeah, it was good fun, man. It was just good to like learn on the job of being like a presenter and DJing for two hours every week, and trying to find new tunes. And you know, it was a good exercise as well for me, because I was making music for radio as well. So I was like, every week I'd make sure I have like 2, 3, 4 tracks every week to play, so there's always different music being played, so I never ran out of music to spread. And yeah, it was a good building point, man. And it got to about end of 09 when I signed to the label, and they started like sort of like managing like where I, you know, my like sort of like my career a little bit, and helping me get to where I needed to get to. And yeah, I released my first album in 2010 in the end. And yeah, it was just a massive a massive learning curve, man. Just watching how they run a label, and you know, I paid attention to everything properly, because I'm very observant, man, in terms of, you know, if I want to learn something, I'll grasp it, you know, straight away, and kind of just build on it, ask questions, and be a part of the process, rather than letting someone just take control of my destiny, you know. So yeah, it was really good, man. I was on there for 7 years in total. Yeah, man.
I used to listen to your show, man. Yeah, it was a good show.
I enjoyed it, man. It's so fun, man. So much fun.
So in 2010, you mentioned you released an album with Rinse. It's Rinse Presents Roska.
Yep.
I love this album. So can you talk to me about the project itself?
Yeah. It was a funny story, man. Like, it was how I met Zinc as well, because Zinc was like in and out of Rinse as well. So when they asked me for demos, at the time it was like burn them onto CDs. Like, there was no chance of like emailing them. It was like burn them to CD and bring them, and I just sent them 40 tracks. I was like, right, there's 10 tracks on each CD, 4 CDs. Yeah, whatever you want on there, man, just go for it. So I was happy with all the tunes, like, it was good. And yeah, I remember Zinc tweeting, yeah, I'm listening to one of Roska's demo CDs in the car, like, and I was just gas, man, because I've been a fan of Zinc for years, man. And yeah, it was kind of like just a process of just seeing what they liked, and where I could direct myself as well. Going back to what we were saying off mic as well, was like, you know, about, you know, following the wave, man, and letting nature take its course rather than kind of like forcing an angle or direction. And if you're enjoying it, then carry on. And that's how it was, man. And the last tune I made for that album was Squawk. That was the last track, and that made the cut, man. And that was it, man. That was when I quit work as well. Literally a month before that the album released, I quit work, and then I literally a month up. Well, as the album released, then I went to America. So literally I went on tour straight after. So it was like, everything happened. It was just like someone just flipped the switch, and it was literally like all systems go, man. I ran out of annual leave, so I had to leave work. Manager weren't happy. He was literally like, didn't even want to say thanks for helping. Like literally,
crazy.
Yeah, man, good times though.
Yeah, it's amazing time.
Yeah.
On that album, there are 2 songs for me that got played an obscene amount of times in my house, like crazy. I remember we used to
I know which one.
Okay, which ones?
Wonderful Day and Love Tonight.
Not Love Tonight.
All right, Energy.
No.
All right, cool. I'm gonna come out against.
I Need Love.
Okay. Oh yeah. Cool.
I Need Love. But Wonderful Days.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
But I Need Love. We used to have this old JVC TV with a massive subwoofer at the back.
Yeah.
And your bass line was so heavy. I'll just be at home. I'm like, I feel like I'm doing my own show. Like this is.
Yeah,
I
man.
love those 2 songs. They're really, really cool. How did those 2 songs come about? First of all, I Need Love featuring Anisha.
Yeah. So like all through like the noughties, I used to go to my uncle's studio in Nunhead. It was like in his flat, and basically I would sit in a corner and just let him do his sessions. And one time like I saw this CD with like a session on there, and I just used the acapella on it. It was just I just broke out the I Need Love bit, and I think it's like 4 bars from there as well, from one of the singers, man, and cleared it as a sample. And I said to my uncle, do you want anything for it? And he's like, no. He goes, go do your thing, man. And I just paid the singer off. And that's how that come across, man. But inspiration I took from like early Charisma, sort of like swing and raw drums, and then just threw some nice chords over it, man.
Yeah, I wanted to say it's funky, but it's a bit different.
That's right.
And I used to hear it a lot on Dapper's show on Rinse. That's where I heard the song first. It was
man.
It was very much like Charisma.
Yeah, big up Dapper, man. That was fun to make, man. It was like that was that I made that in 2008, and I remember like I used to do these 15-minute mixes and put them on Senspace, and just like put them on my Twitter. Yep, next mix or whatever. And Code 9 actually wanted that for Hyperdub back then. But when I started my label, I wanted to I was like, right, you know what? Let me just focus on my label until I find a good like other label to go on, or someone that can like help with what I need to get where I need to get to. So I declined it to go on Hyperdub because I was like, let me leave it and see how it goes, see what happens. And it was getting played everywhere, man. And then when Rinse come along, I was just like, right, you know what, this is a good place for me. They've got everything that I want. They put on their own events, they do radio. I've seen how they work with Scream and Benga. You know, it was kind of like, it felt right. It felt like I was gonna build a good career off the back of it. So yeah, man.
And the other track on the album that I love is Wonderful Day with Jamie George. This song is huge. Yeah. How did this song come together?
I'm laughing because it's fun. It's basically, so 2008, I had this DJ who was on One Extra at the time called DJ B. He used to have an R&B show on One Extra, and he messaged me and was like, yeah, can I do a remix for Jamie George? Because Jamie George was doing a lot of like indie sort of like guitar based stuff, and I was like, okay, cool, you know what, let me do it, because I was doing a lot of stuff to try and get my name out there as well, remixes and what have you. And because I was still new to the business, I wasn't talking about, you know, how much the remix was or whatever. So amateur move from me. I done the remix, then I asked for a fee at the end, and it was like, oh yeah, but there's no fee. I was like, okay, cool. I said, well, let's work out a swap then. So if you give me an acapella or like, let's work on another tune separately, let's go from there. And so Wonderful Day was the remix I was meant to do, and Love Tonight was the tune for me. And then what happened was, both the tunes started I sent them out. They were circulating for 2 years, so before they got released. So they was flying around, Choice FM, Rinse, everyone was playing these tunes. And then we had Relentless asking for Love Tonight, and we had Ministry of Sound asking for Wonderful Day. And we still weren't sure, man. Like, even though the tunes, it made sense, it was like, yeah, we wanted Relentless to take Love Tonight, but they were just taking too long. It became a point of, do you want it or do you don't, or like, do you want it or not? And it was like, I'm not sure. And then the A&R come back to me and was like, yeah, I should have taken it. Like, and then Wonderful Day, we wasn't sure because they had another artist that was kind of similar. So we was like, you know what, let's just leave that. And then Rinse come along, so that all made sense. So yeah, we kind of like, we put it on white label, let it do its thing, and then when Rinse signed it, we re-released it with Rinse. Yeah, man.
I love Wonderful Day. It's again different. Yeah. Not surprised to hear that Jamie George started off doing indie because his voice was different for UK. So it's so calm and soft to the tune. Man. That's like not, but the balance is perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
So we can't talk about those two songs without playing them.
Yeah, this is the Groove School show with myself, Roska, featuring Anisha, I Need Love. And you're also listening to A Wonderful Day by myself and Jamie George.
was the day, the day in which I told him that you and me, I guarantee that I would be your lady. So we kicked it off and made me feel your love. It was sweet romance. I needed love, and I finally found it. I need it.
Wonderful day, yeah, what a wonderful day, wonderful day, yeah, what a wonderful day, wonderful day, yeah, what a wonderful day. Let's be spontaneous, let's get on the train or bus, yeah, just the two of us, not laze away the day, the sun is shining, let's catch some rays, or jump in the car, go as far as the petrol takes us, yeah, just me and you, mono, leave the adult life till tomorrow, no convertible, so we hold our head out the window like we did when we was a kid, just cruising for the fun of it, and we got no place to go, just the lanes of the open road, it's just me and you, perfect, nowhere that I'd rather be, what a wonderful day, yeah, what a wonderful day, wonderful day, yeah, what a wonderful day, wonderful day, yeah, what a wonderful day, wonderful day, yeah, what a wonderful day. In the park for a laugh, go on the roundabout and let's scream and shout, fall on the grass and roll around, there's no rules allowed, and let's get that music blaring, make them stare and shake their heads, have a day of no regrets, ha, yeah, even better yet, listen, yeah, we're unstoppable, for today we can put aside any knowledge of wrong or right, so hold on tight and enjoy the ride, no place to go, close your eyes and pretend to fly, it's just you and me, perfect, nowhere that I'd rather be, what a wonderful day, yeah, what a wonderful day, wonderful day, yeah, what a wonderful day, wonderful day, yeah, what a wonderful day, wonderful day, yeah, what a wonderful day. We can do anything we want to, we can act like Peter Pan, run through fields while holding hands, or we can make castles in the sand, carve out initials in a tree, get lost or we can play hide and seek, as long as it's you and me, there's endless possibilities. We can do anything, make noises just like an elephant, lift you up with my legs, be Superman, or do roly-polies and try handstands, eat ice cream till we get brain freeze and then act like chimpanzees. What a wonderful day.
Okay, so 2 years later, Rinse released another album with you, Rinse Presents Roska 2. UK Funky was king of the dance. Like, I mean, I'm playing it at home, house parties are playing it, it's getting a lot of radio play. Seemingly from the outside looking in, the scene was thriving. At the time, it was you, Champion, Genius, many others were just at the top. Were there any negatives, could you feel, at this point to this scene, or was it just enjoyment?
Yeah, so negatives, I mean, with every scene, there's always going to be like something that's going on in the background. The one thing with, well, not even the one thing, there was a few things. I mean, one of the main things that we see like a first generation and a second generation of funky is like if with the first generation, not everybody was releasing music. So like as a general avid listener, like you're hearing the music, you're hearing DJs play it, but as a DJ, if you weren't of a certain level, you weren't getting some of these tunes. And that's why I'm still here today, because my tunes were accessible to everybody. You could buy them on Juno Download, you can buy them on iTunes, you could buy them everywhere. Whereas some DJs, they were just giving them to your key DJs, producers giving it to the key DJs, and that's it. So no one could get it. So I feel part of it was a lot of DJs were giving up because they couldn't get the music that they wanted. They was only getting specific tracks. And then another thing was there was like a battle between this, like there was a lot of like, because the music was so popular, obviously the younger generation dictate where the music goes in any scene. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's drill now, Afrobeat, the younger generation determine what happens. So what was happening was there was a lot of MCs coming through, a lot of MCs, some good, some bad, and some, like quite a few of them getting record deals as well. So where we would come through as a producers, where it was a producer and a DJ game, it's becoming an MC game. It was very controlled in terms of like, you know, some of the producers weren't really keen on MCs jumping on their tunes. Some DJs weren't keen to play those tracks. So there's a massive divide in that situation. And it was for me, it was interesting because I come from an MC base, so I kind of respect both sides of it. So I didn't care. And you know, one of my things was, you know, let the MCs do what they're doing. Do what you're doing. Enjoy it. You know, if they're serious, they'll stay. If they're not, they will disappear. And lo and behold, most of them had an average of one single. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, whether it was, you know, Head, Shoulders, Knees and Toes, you know, they had another one after that, but the biggest one was...
I was going to ask,
you know
what was it like with that when it became that little mini scene where it was skanks? Everyone was doing like a thing on YouTube and it was a skank. How was that for you watching it? What were you thinking?
I wasn't fussed. Again, it was like, I was so happy to be here. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, man, I finally found like a scene that has accepted me and I can build and get into music. That was my look on it. Some of it was a bit annoying, yeah, but that's what music do you not listen to that there's always one tune that you like? Nah. Do you get what I'm saying? So
I think with every UK underground scene, there's a point in which it goes somewhere and I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
Happened with grime, happened with garage,
yeah.
happened with UK funky.
This is it.
Happens every time.
Exactly, man. So you just got to let it ride. And I think once the MCs sort of got on, a lot of people gave up and then started moving to your deep houses and all these other little things going on. And I felt that I always said to these artists, like, if you enjoy what you're doing, just continue doing it. People gonna come, people gonna go. And for me, I've seen so much people go. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, literally go. And the saddest thing for me is watching some of those, not even some of them, I'd say at least like 60% of those artists like disappear, like when they've gone to the back of another queue, like of an established genre. You know what I mean? Like I'm always like, do you really want to jump into another genre that is established when you've got one that you're part of and you're part of history? Do you know what I mean? And I feel that there's a lot of people that don't want to build on certain things. They want things to happen, you know, quickly and instantly, you know. So it is what it is, man. But I always, you know, I can turn around to a lot of people and say, I told you so, man. Like, just hang in there, man. And you would have been doing something you enjoyed.
Yeah, would you say with that in mind, and then I think you have to say at one point, Funky House did die. A lot of these artists started disappearing. A lot of these producers disappeared. Yeah. What do you think happened? Do you think it was a case of people trying to do other things, or was it just natural? It was just fading?
Yeah, I mean, as far as it dying, I wouldn't say it died as such. I'd definitely say it became unpopular, in terms of the key people that you would have followed would have stopped making it or didn't consistently churn the music out. Do you get what I'm saying? So, like, as an example, from like end of 2011 to about 2015, I'd say there was still funky being made. Like, even like when you listen to like some of the music that was coming out during that period on like my label and a few other labels, but there was like where I came in playing house and funky, I was playing more funky during like the during 09, 10, 11, 12, and then it started being more house and funky and then house again. So I was playing more house then, with a funky feel to it. Do you know what I mean? So I feel that it like any genre, it always has like a cycle in terms of what you see on the surface and what you see building up underneath. And I felt that during that period, it was there, but it wasn't taken on by, you know, your mainstream DJs or your specialist DJs on your popular stations. So it wasn't really popular anymore. And also, I always look at things as well as like, you know, whatever's happening at uni always reflects what's happening musically as well. So you'll find that generation that might have listened to funky in uni, they might have all grown up a little bit and gone and found another genre or something that they like or enjoy. And
yeah, you're basically speaking about my generation.
There you go.
I was listening to UK Funky as a 15, 16-year-old. By the time I was at uni, it was house.
That's right.
It was just deep house.
There you go. So that always, the younger generation dictating what goes on. Do you know what I mean? And then we get to 2015, and Drake drops One Dance, and then all of a sudden everybody's talking about funky again. But for me, it's like I've never stopped talking about it. But again, it's that thing of like waves, peaks and troughs, and seeing who it gets popular again and then it disappears. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of those genres where not enough people put enough effort into it to make it want to be a genre, but it's always been there. Do you know what I mean?
Before we talk about house, I remember listening to Pioneer's show on Kiss, Marcus Nasty's show, Dapper's show I mentioned earlier, and all of a sudden it was like this darker side to UK funky. It was like bassline, funky house bassline, which was more house, and that was maybe more accessible because people were listening to house. That's right. And then I remember watching an Instagram live you did with DJ Naughty recently, and you spoke about how you and your label was gathering momentum, and then all of a sudden the scene was more quiet. How was that for you? Like that must have been annoying.
Yeah, I mean, it was weird because it's hard to engage what people want. Do you know what I mean? So you kind of have to just go, you know what, I'm going to do this and see where it takes you. And that's all I tried to do throughout my whole career. Try not to let outside dictate it, but also be aware of what is going on. So it was always been a struggle in terms of like financially working out how much you can put into the music, and how much you can fund, and keep the label running as well, which was one of the main things. So it was a hard situation, you know, and like you know, you could hear like I kind of got involved in a bit of like the sort of like a bass house and sort of like the jacking house sort of stuff as well, to keep the label ticking over, and also just try and find pockets of what can work in my set as well, because my set like kind of changed as well, where I was playing a lot of my own music, but I was still trying to fit in what works as well. And
because you're a DJ as well.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. So I tried to find elements and stuff to fit in and like keep with what's going on and still stick to the UK funky ethos as well.
For me, I feel I started getting into radio much later than you did, and it was until about 2017 I felt like I could start playing UK funky again because there was new stuff coming. So you said 2015, so maybe it took a couple of years before it was circulating enough. And one of those first songs I remember hearing is from your album in 2018, Perception, which is, I just have to say, I love that album.
I appreciate it.
I couldn't believe that UK funky was back. For me, it was back.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just back, but it was as good, if not better than before. It was just the same. How did this album come together? And what made you make this album?
I listen to a lot of my old music, a lot of it, like, and try and like a lot of unreleased stuff as well, and try and figure out what, like, if I want to release it or not, or whether I want to get some inspiration from it and incorporate it into what's new. And one thing I learned was with that album was I wanted to have that feeling of my first album, but I also wanted to have the feeling of a new scene as well. So I kind of wanted to merge the two together and kind of just build on something and have something that I enjoyed as a masterpiece, like personal to me, rather than it being a masterpiece to everybody else. But I just wanted to kind of like go, because I felt my first album was really good for me, and it was a proud moment for me. But there was things that I would have done differently, and I feel that I've done them a little bit differently on this album, Perception, and I run with it, man. Just had as much fun and learned a lot of stuff through it, man.
Lose Your Mind with Alicia Lee is my personal standout. Like, again, I'm talking about really feeling like I was listening to UK funky again. I said, this is UK funky. This is,
man.
But also it's a little bit different. I don't know how to word it. I want to use the word clean.
Yeah.
It sounded a bit more, maybe technology has changed. I don't know, but it sounded a bit more sharp, and I love it. I love it a lot, and I would love to play that as the next selection. Can you pick another song from that album that you'd like to play?
Yeah, another one with Alicia Lee called Over You. That one, a little backstory on that one. That one was actually made shortly after I Need Love, back in 2009-10, and I had the track sitting there, and that was the first track I put together for that album Perception. And what happened was I had the track and I said, Alicia, I want to use this for my album. I showed her the tune because I redone it and just polished it, and obviously you can hear now it's cleaner than the first one. And that was one of my things. It's like the progression, and from the first album, it's like 9 years, so it's like there's a lot that I've learned over the years, technical wise, to make my sound a bit more cleaner. And she was like, no, I need to re-record my vocals again. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's
so
cool.
Yeah, we linked up and re-recorded it. So it was a good little back and forth. Do you know what I mean? To kind of, I've progressed and she's progressed, and we both come together to redo something. So yeah, man, that was fun.
And it's like what you were saying before about other artists going into different scenes. You learn from what you were doing before.
Exactly.
You guys have both come to a point, you're like, this is where I am, this is where I am.
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
Yo, this is Roska, and you're listening to Croydon FM.
Time.
Grove School and you are listening to my favorite guy, Reuben, every Monday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Thought I was ready to love again. I lost my lover and my best friend. Thought it would be easy to get over him. Thought it would be easy to get over him. Thought I was strong, stronger than I thought. I tricked myself into thinking that he wasn't what I want. I was wrong. I was wrong. Yeah. Got to get over. Got to get over you. Got to get over. Got to get over you. Got to get over. Got to get over you. Got to get over. Got to get over you. Got to get over. Got to get over you. Got to get over. Got to get over you. Got to get over. Got to get over you. Got to get over. Got to get over you. Got to get over. Got to get over. Got to get over. Got to get over you. Got to get over. Got to get over you. Got to get over. Got to get over. Got to get over. Got to get over you. Got to get over. Got to get over you. Thought I was ready to love again. I lost my lover and my best friend. Thought it would be easy to get over him. Thought it would be easy to get over him. Thought I was strong, stronger than I thought. I tricked myself into thinking that he wasn't what I want. I was wrong. I was wrong. Yeah. Got to get over. Got to get over you. Got to get over. Got to get over you. Got to get over. Got to get over you. Got to get over. Got to get over you. Got to get over. Got to get over you. Got to get over. Got to get over you. Got to get over. Got to get over you. Got to get over. Got to get over you. Got to get over. Got to get over. Got to get over. Got to get over you. Got to get over. Got to get over you. Got to get over. Got to get over. Got to get over. Got to get over you. Got to get over. Got to get over you.
Although this is a second wave, so to speak, overall UK funky has lasted a long time. Why do you think it's lasted so long?
If you think about it, it's like the last genre to created in the UK. Afro beats has been around for years, and obviously merged and called it Afro swing and Afro bashment, but it's still the same thing. Drill is from America, so it's literally one of the last genres, man. And the good thing about UK funky is it's danceable, man. Like anybody can hear it for the first time and want to do something. Do you know what I mean? And I've realised that throughout the years, like, and even just listening back to my old stuff and just the swing on it. Like when I go to America, like not everybody knows who I am. Do you know what I mean? But they will do by the end of the night, and that's based on the music and the selection and how I play, but also based on the style of the music, man. It's danceable, man. It's for you to dance and enjoy your life, man. That's the one good thing about funky.
I have to say, another reason why I think it's lasted so long is incredible and consistent producers like you. We have to thank you, man, because hearing your words today, words of wisdom, talking about just stick to it, stick to your sound,
Yeah.
learn, maybe progress, but don't change.
Yeah, of course.
We have to thank you for that. For sure. And today, UK Funky is known worldwide. Like I just heard you say, you're touring across America. Crazy to think that a sound that we listen to, I used to skank in my bedroom to, is known globally. Did you ever envision this music that you were making at the time would take you to a point where you're DJing across the world?
No, not at all. There's like back in 2009, I remember talking to someone from Rinse, and they was like, "Have you done any shows abroad yet?" And I was like, "Nah." And they was like, "Yeah, you should be soon." And I was laughing because I was thinking, you're having a laugh, man. You really are having a laugh. But literally, like a month later, I was in Croatia. That was my first show, from there on, it just built up, and I ran out of annual leave. Like I said earlier on, it's like literally I was taking annual leave to go to these places because I'd have to take the day before and the day after off, so I can fly there and fly back, especially in Europe. You go into, say, Berlin, for instance, you fly there, play in the afternoon, play in the evening, get there in the afternoon, play there in the evening, and then the next day you fly back. So it's 2 days every time, taking 2 days, or I'd try and work my days off and what have you. But yeah, it was tough, man. It was tough. So yeah.
And then your label, RKS, celebrated 10 years recently. How did you celebrate?
You know what? There was so much we wanted to do, but we ended up just doing like small parties, and we done like a small compilation, man. But I feel like because I enjoy what I'm doing, and it's weird because the artists around me at the time, it's like no one's really been consistently on the label throughout the whole time. It's just been me. So it's kind of hard to kind of like figure out what I'd want to do. But I think when lockdown comes, man, I'm going to have to do something proper, man, because hopefully by the time things pick up, I mean, now, well, February coming, we'll be 12 years old. So I'll probably wait until like maybe 15 years and then do something,
which is perfect
serious,
timing,
man.
because again, we were saying just off the mic, you don't know how long before things like that are going to come back.
Exactly. I'd rather do something that's not too socially distant, man.
You recently released a 5-track EP, 10 years of RKS showcasing 5 chains and styles of UK funky, which is a really fitting way to celebrate a decade. A decade is an incredible achievement. Did you ever think you could have a label for 10 years as well?
No, again, it was just I was just following the wave, man, in terms of seeing what, year by year, and I'd always like plan ahead, like a year ahead, and then as time's gone on, I just plan like month by month, and like whatever I've got ahead of me, because I've slowed down a little bit, and I think it come in good time, with everything going on, in the world. It's like I've slowed down on releases and stuff like that, but I've spent a lot of time doing my own releases. So I've released quite a lot of music this year, but I'm only doing that because I know what I will bring to the table in terms of like, I know that my music will recoup and I can reinvest it and stuff like that. So it's just hard to kind of like engage whether something would do well at the moment, on a financial level. But overall, like, I never knew it would go this far, honestly. Like, I thought there was periods where that was it, like, especially like, during the first sort of wave of funky, I was thinking, well, you know what I mean, where do I take it from here? But at the moment now, I'm kind of like trying to build to a point where we start, going into like the visual world and kind of like changing the landscape of and following what's going on right now. Obviously, streaming is a big thing, and we want to kind of like build to get to those points where we're hitting the visual market as well, and doing things maybe not as much volume, but just leveling up on the quality that we do.
Okay, so we're short for time, but I'd like to ask you one more thing. What's next? Can you give me an exclusive?
I'm working on a few bits at the moment, so I don't know if you know, but I've got another A-list as well called Bakongo, which is basically sort of more tribal. It kind of leans towards more like the techno sort of world, but it's got elements of UK funky and stuff like that. So I've been focusing on that as well as the Roska stuff. So at the moment, I'm kind of working on like an album for Roska, but I've also been working on singles like tribal stuff for the Bakongo stuff. So yeah, man, I'm kind of like I'm enjoying music, man. Like, I think like I spent more time in like just releasing music and just doing what I like over the last like 6 to 9 months, based on like the current climate, and just enjoying it rather than like having a plan as such. Like over the last like couple of months, I've just been mixing, mastering my own music, and then just putting it out and just seeing what happens, man. And so far it's been really good, man. And I've enjoyed what's been going on, man. So yeah, just been just seeing what the landscape is, man. I can wake up tomorrow and decide to release a track. Do you know what I mean? That's how funny it is for me.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Roska, thank you for making incredible music. I'm a big fan,
problem, man.
massive fan, man. And your music ignited my DJing career, my radio presenting career. So I have to thank you.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.